morning. 2 Kings chapter 12. Yahoash began to reign in the 7th year of Yahu, and he reigned for 40 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Sibiah of Beersheba. And Yahoash, I think that's Joash in some other versions. Joash did what was right in the eyes of Yahweh all the days in which Jehoiada the priest instructed him. However, the high places were not taken away. The people still slaughtered and burned incense on the high places. And Joash said to the Kohanim, all of the silver of the holy gifts, the Kodesh gifts that are brought into the house of Yahweh, the silver's coming in, each man's assessment silver, all the silver that a man purposes in his heart to bring into the house of Yahweh. Let the Kohanim, the priests, take for themselves each from his friend, and let them repair the damages of the house wherever there is damage. And it came to be by the 23rd year of the sovereign Joash that the priests had not repaired the damages of the house. And sovereign Joash called Jehoiada, the priest, and the other priests, and said to them, why have you not repaired the damages? And now don't take any more silver from your friends. Give it for repairing the damages of the house. And the priests agreed that they would neither receive any more silver from the people nor repair the damages of the house. And Jehoiada the Kohen took a chest and bored a hole in its lid and put it beside the altar on the right side as one comes into the house of Yahweh. And the priest who guarded the door put there all the silver that was brought into the house of Yahweh. And it came to be whenever they saw that there was much silver in the chest that the sovereign scribe and the priest Haggadol, the high priest, came up and put it in the bags and counted silver, and counted all the silver that was found in the house of Yahweh, and gave the silver weighed out into the hands of those who did the work and who had the oversight of the house of Yah. And they paid it out to the carpenters and builders who worked on the house of Yah, and to stonemasons and stone cutters, and for buying timber and hewn stone to repair the damage of the house of Yah, and for all that was paid out to repair the house. However, there were not made for the house of Yah basins of silver, snuffers, sprinkling bowls, trumpets, and objects of gold or objects of silver from the silver that was brought into the house. For they gave that to the workmen, and they repaired the house of Yah with it. And they did not reckon with the men into whose hand they gave the silver to be paid to workmen, for they acted trustworthily. What's interesting, I just thought about this in verses 13, how it explains that the silver that is brought in were not made for certain things in the house, not made for like the basins, not made for snuffers, sprinkling bowls, trumpets, and objects of gold and silver. All of the silver that was brought into the house. And this reminds me, because maybe the precious things that are to be in the house of Yah must be refined. That's a word that just came to me. Like us, for us that are going to the kingdom, where we require deep refining. And maybe these objects that are being brought in are not refined. Therefore, these special things that are made in the house, or the house of Yah, these things aren't going to be made with that silver brought in. So there's something about that silver versus refined silver, maybe the purest form. Okay. Verse 16. The silver from the trespass offerings and the silver from sin offerings were not brought into the house of Yah. It belonged to the priest. And Hazael, sovereign of Aram, went up and forth and fought against Gath and captured it. And Hazael turned his face to go up to Jerusalem. And Joash, sovereign of Judah, took all the Kodesh, the holy gifts that his fathers, Jehoshaphat and Jeroboam and Ahaziah, sovereign of Judah, had made holy, Kadosh, and his own holy gifts, Kodesh gifts, and all of the gold that is found in the treasuries of the house of Yah and in the sovereign's house, he sent them to Hazael, sovereign of Aram. Then he went away from Jerusalem. The rest of the acts of Joash and all that he did are written in the book of the sovereigns of Judah. And his servants rose up and made a conspiracy, and smote Joash in the house of Millo, which goes down to Selah. For Jozachar, son of Shemath, and Jehozabad, son of Shomer, his servants smote him. So he died. And they buried him with his fathers in the city of David, and Amaziah his son reigned in his place.